everybody, welcome back to my second Flosstube. I'm so excited. I actually had people watching my first one. I actually had people subscribe to my channel. I'm very honored. I'm very excited. Love the few comments that were made. I can tell this is going to be the start of a beautiful friendship. So I'm super excited. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, let's get started. So, I didn't really work very much on any of the 3 projects I talked about last time. Didn't touch the little Bo Peep girl. Did not touch my Prairie Schooler Santa. I did get the A mostly done on my Easter, although I didn't even bother doing the back stitching. But I got some done. So I'm happy with that. The reason why is because after filming Flosstube that weekend, I put up my Easter decorations. And my youngest daughter helped me. And she is a very non-sentimental girl. So she encouraged me, and I agreed wholeheartedly that it was time to get rid of the paper mache eggs and the crazy paper sheep made out of bizarre colored paper that my children had done in kindergarten and first grade, because she's the youngest and she's now 13. So these things had been displayed and used for many, many Easters. They were all adorable and lovely, but also wild, garish colors that did not fit in at all with my Easter palette that I like. They didn't even really match any of the Easter decorations I had purchased. So we threw those all away, and then that left very big gaps in my decorating. So I decided to make a whole bunch of projects to fill those. So one of the first ones is I have 2 of these adorable little eggs. They're supposed to hold photos, okay? I have this little white one with green and pink polka dots, and I have a blue one with white polka dots. There was nothing for them to hold up. That can't happen. So I made and finished these! Aren't they so cute? So I went on like free cross stitch patterns 101.com or something like that. I just Googled free small cross stitch and made sure that they were really free and found this little Easter basket. So I did up 2 of them. I did add back stitching. I am an old-fashioned girl. Backstitching matters. Backstitching makes a difference. It brings cross stitch to life. So I will add it where it's not necessary. And so now my 2 little chicks hold the little Easter basket. I love it so much. Let me show you a trick I learned, however, in getting corners. Now these are not super crisp corners, but they're pretty good. I have watched Priscilla and Chelsea's tutorials and how she's got like this really fine tipped hot glue gun and she just squeezes it together. She has asbestos fingers apparently. She cannot feel the hot glue. Her glue gun is amazing. I don't have that. I could not, with the glue gun, I could not get a sharp corner. So what I did instead is I'm not sure if you can see that, I stitched it with the little whip stitch back and forth across in all the corners, pulled it tight, and that got me a better corner. That's what I do now on most of my projects where I feel like it's necessary. So those are the first 2 projects done. I'm gonna set those over here. Then I decided I needed some pillows to go in my tiered tray. Now I have made fabric Easter eggs previously, and they're very cute. They're all in little pastel colors, And those were there, but there was really nothing else. So I needed some pillows. whilstirisnaps has some great free Easter patterns on her blog. I heard about her through Mama Loves You GB and a couple other places, but I heard it through Mama Loves You GB first. And so I printed out those free patterns and I made a little carrot pillow. Now, I did not finish this pillow with any trim around the outside because to me, the trim was included in the pattern. I did the frame around, that was good enough. But the pillow just by itself was too plain. So I went through my scrap basket of ribbon. Oh my gosh, so much ribbon. Anyway, and made a little bow and tacked that on. And I really like this. I will say the original colors, the only original color that I used is this yellow, which is a little green for me. And had I thought about it more, I would have even substituted that out, but I went ahead and left it. Maybe I did the original, the called for green too. Yeah, maybe I did. But the orange is different and the blue is different. I just used what I had. I don't have access to those, fancy floss colors. It's too hard. It would take too long to get here. I just used what I had. But I really like it. I think it looks super cute. And I backed it with some yellow gingham. So that was that. Then, of course, I had to do the bunnies. But I wanted to do the bunnies on, since the bunnies themselves were all browns, I wanted to have it on a material that was more Eastery. So I did it on pink. And then I used pink and yellow. I had a variegated pink that I used for the hearts around, and then I went ahead and used the same yellow that was in the carrot, so they kind of went together, not really, but kind of, around the outside. And again, the pattern contained the frame. So I just decided to add on this little bow. I didn't want the same bow in the corner as like with the carrots. I wanted it to be different. So I played with this, sewed it on one way, had it completely done, took it off, sewed it on again to get this sort of birthday present type look. I like it. I'm super happy with it. I'm going to do this again on more pillows. I love it, love it, love it. Same gingham, yellow gingham on the back. I just fill my pillows with the regular old stuffing. I've looked for the lizard, what is it? Whatever that lizard stuff is, the crushed walnut shells that you can buy from a pet store. I haven't found a pet store that sells them yet. They have lizards as pets here, but I can't find the lizard stuff. So I think I'm just looking at the wrong pet store. So, oh well, until then I have the stuffed things and I love it. So that's the second one. I had so much fun stitching those, and they went so quickly that I decided I wanted to make a big one. I had seen on Snug Harbor Crafts, Debbie had made her giant Prairie Schooler Santa on that big count that she got from Shepherd's Bush, and I thought that was really cute. I could not get it out of my head, and so I went ahead and designed this pattern using the bunnies and the carrots from whilstirisnaps, but I did it with a full 6 strands of floss. I pulled out colors that I have, just random floss that I had, and I don't even know if they're DMC. I have a bunch of floss that my mom gave me that must have been from kits, and it's like some of it is because it's already cut into lengths, but it's got no number, I don't know what. So I used the green. Actually, all those colors came from that. And I used it on that big, giant count, Ada cloth that I got from Zweigart. I put it on mat board, then another mat board, and then I did some sticky foam core board on the back to kind of give it stability. I crocheted this flower myself, And this was a little, it's a brad, that's a corduroy button. This bow right here came off of a box of chocolates, fancy chocolates. And then this is just yellow ribbon that I had from Stampin' Up. I have lots of Stampin' Up projects. I love this. I love this. Now, originally, I stitched this with the idea that I would put it on display in the library. But I love it too much. It's going to stay at my house for at least this first year. Maybe next year, I will let it go to the library. To display it, because I didn't make it into a flat fold, it's getting foam, the mat board over here is expensive. It's hard. My daughter brought me a bunch in her luggage from Amazon. So instead, I have this little easel. Now, this was a plain wood. I painted it white, and I will put this on the easel for display. And then I can use this white easel as well to hold. I have a Twin Pink Primitives Canadian sampler that I'm going to do for Canada Day on July 1st. So anyway, that is how I will display this. I am so happy. But wait, that's not all. Since I had the mat board out, I went ahead and finished my Buzzy String from Lizzie. You know, that Lizzie person that Lizzie Kate. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so I finished that. At first, I was very sad because I didn't have any blue rickrack. I wanted dark blue navy rickrack to go around the outside. I didn't have any more white rickrack that was big enough. I had some smaller white rickrack, but that looked too yucky. So I wanted blue. But I wasn't even sure the fabric store that I have near me would have any. And I'm really committed to trying to use what I already have in my home because I have so much. And then I realized I don't want blue. There's plenty of blue in here already. This is for all summer. We celebrate Canada Day, which is red and white. We celebrate July 4th, which is red, white, and blue. And we celebrate August 1st, which is Switzerland's Day, and which is also red and white. And so I decided to go ahead and just do white lace, again, out of my box of lace I got from my friend's mom, and put that around. The corners are still kind of hard for me, but I'm not submitting this to like any county fairs or anything, so I'm pretty happy with that. I still need to attach the magnets on the back, but I will have time to do that in a bit since the spring one is still up. So, but there's that finished. Super happy with how that turned out, and I'm happy I had that red gingham. Okay, so then back to pillows. Once I had those Easter bunnies and carrots, I thought I'm going to stitch up her welcome spring. I didn't want to do the Happy Easter from whilstirisnaps because I'm already doing my big with the flowers, Happy Easter, and I wanted something that was more springy. So I made this little pillow. I used all my own floss. Again, I used that box of random floss I have that I don't know where it came from. I don't know even if it's DMC. And just picked out some pastels that I liked. I backed it in a pink gingham. I used the same variegated pink that I used on the bunny pillow to go around the outside. And then I had these little yellow flower buttons, and I added some purple floss, the same purple floss that I used in the bows. Now, I will say the buttons were a last minute addition, meaning I had the pillow sewed and stuffed and decided it needed a little something. And so I just glued these buttons on with Aileen's tacky glue. I hope they stay. It's just going to be sitting in my tiered tray. I don't have little kids who will grab it anymore. So I think it'll be okay as long as I pack it carefully. They should be okay. But, oh my gosh. Oh, so cute, so cute. Oh, I didn't even say. These are stitched, I think this and this cloth is the same cloth. My mom gave me a whole bunch of her cross-stitch fabric. There's linen, there's Aida cloth, there's even weave in there. This is it's Aida cloth. It's very small count. I want to say it's most likely 18 count. Aida cloth, very cute, made for adorable little finishes, and just in some cream color. Really, really happy with that. I only have one tiny piece left. I'll have to get some more of that if I see 18 count somewhere. I really liked it. So then in my tier tray, I keep seeing for everybody, they have these adorable carrots that they got at Hobby Lobby. Well, guess what? There's no Hobby Lobby in Switzerland. So I Googled, well, on YouTube, I did a search for fabric carrots. And I found a tutorial by Missouri Star Quilt Company. And I just so happened to have several Missouri Star Quilt Company templates, including the exact wedge template that she used in her tutorial. So I made myself a whole bunch of carrots, stuffed carrots. Now these are big carrots. And I actually made 4 more. Those are at the library. I put them on my Easter display table already, along with some of my stuffed eggs that I have, that I made a couple years ago. But these will go, I have a basket, came with treats from our landlord for Christmas one year, that I'm going to put something in the bottom, like a pillow or stuffing or something, so that these don't go all the way down. And I'll put some carrots in here. I have a stuffed bunny from my kids, and make like a little display. I'm not completely sure yet, but oh my gosh, these carrots were so fun, so easy. I sat yesterday afternoon and stuffed and hand sewed the tops together, a whole bunch of carrots. But they're a little big for my tiered tray. They're super cute for a display. I might even put one in front of the easel with the bunnies and carrots from whilstirisnaps. But then I wanted some little ones to go on the tiered tray. So I made a whole bunch. Oh my gosh, let's see if I can hold them up here. I made a whole bunch of baby carrots. Little tiny. These were fiddly. These were hard to get the little tops in because it was so small, and like sewing around it, there's barely enough room. I had to go find a little small needle, but super cute. I love them. They're going to go in my tiered tray around, fill in with the pillows and my little stuffed eggs. I am so, so, so happy. And now I'm not jealous anymore of all the cute carrots that everybody's buying from Hobby Lobby, because I have my own. Love them, love them, love them. So I'm feeling pretty good now about my Easter decorations. I would love to add a few more smalls. I might do the one from Helen D. But I can also do that for next year. As long as I have this done now, I'm feeling good. I want to finish my Happy Easter. Happy Easter. I want to finish that and get it at least finished in time before Easter comes. If I get it like fully finished and displayed, that'll be even better. But I at least want to get it finished so it's ready for next year. So I am going to concentrate again on that in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, maybe the one from Helen D. And then go back to working on the Little Bo Peep from my mom. But that was super fun. And I got a lot done these past 2 weeks. I know. I also sewed 2 pairs of pajama pants for my pajama shorts for my daughter. And what else did I sew? There was something. Oh, Days for Girls. I sold a bunch of shields for Days for Girls. It is a organization that provides feminine hygiene kits for girls all over the world, so that who don't have access to them. They're reusable, they're washable, made out of sustainable materials, so that they can continue to go to school when they're on their period. And I sewed a bunch of shields for that, because we were having a sewing day get together where they would assemble kits, and I wanted to have the shields done for that. So I also lost a day of cross stitching so that I could sew those. But that was a worthwhile endeavor, and I'm happy to spend the time doing that. So these next 2 weeks, I am working a little bit more at the library, so I don't know again how much more time I will have. I only worked 6 hours this past 2 weeks. So again, that's why I had a lot of time to cross stitch. But I am hoping to make some significant progress on my Happy Easter, the garden one. And yeah, that's my plans. So now I'm going to share 2 more, well, another crafter's confession and then a little tidbit of life in Switzerland. So my crafter's confession is, and you already got a little wind of it, is I cannot throw away the smallest scrap of ribbon. It's so hard. Just today, I debated 3 times, held it in my hand, put it towards the trash can, held it, took it back out, put it closer, took it back out, of the tiniest, it was this big scrap of ribbon. But I have made Christmas cards using little scraps of ribbon. But I just took a deep breath and said, it's okay, and put it in the trash. And that feels like a huge accomplishment. I'm not a hoarder of a lot of things. Like, I stitch them and ditch them from my cross-stitch patterns. But ribbon and buttons, oh my gosh. I cannot toss a piece of my kids' clothing with holes and everything out without snipping off all the buttons and adding them to my button collection. And ribbon. So again, that's why I had that bow, that brown bow from a box of chocolates. No matter what I get, somebody gives me a gift tied with ribbon. Thanks for the ribbon. Like it probably more than what's inside the gift bag. Yeah, I save ribbon on all the ribbon that comes with the fabric. The Moda fabric is tied with that ribbon that looks like a tape measure. I must have like 5 yards of it in like sections this big because I cannot get rid of it. I love ribbon and buttons. So that is my crafter's confession, that I am a ribbon hoarder to the nth degree. And I think I have ribbon. I have enough ribbon that if we tied it all together end and end, I could probably use it to climb to the moon. Maybe not. But it could probably definitely go all the way across the ocean and get me to America. I mean, yards and yards and yards of ribbon. And I am making a firm effort, conscious effort, to use it up. I got rid of 4 spools of green ribbon this year making my Christmas cards. I still have 2.5 spools left, full spools, but I got rid of a lot. So that's my crafter's confession. Another aspect of life in Switzerland. I have thought of like 60 million things I can share with you. So there are plenty of content for future videos. For this one, I'm going to talk about how we have no police in my village. Now, I'm sure there are a lot of small towns all over the world that don't really have a police force. I've lived in big towns my whole life, big cities, where there was always police. I mean, in San Diego, hello, we even had police at our high school, you know? So, like, not having a police presence in town felt a little odd. But we're a small village. There's only 2,000 people. And so there's no need for a police department. The town that's literally at the bottom of the hill, it takes me 6 minutes to get there. They have a police force. And so if there was a problem, that's who would come. In the 16 and a half years that we have lived here, I have seen a police car maybe 5 times. One time was about 2 years ago now, maybe a year and a half ago. Our neighbors behind us, it's a father and 2 sons, and the youngest son's girlfriend is often there. She's been living in and out. They fight a lot. They got drunk and had a huge fight, and apparently she damaged the older brother's car, and he called the police. But what's interesting about the police is they do not pull up in Switzerland. They do not pull up with lights blaring, sirens going. I guess it's sirens blaring, lights spinning. Especially because this was early in the morning, and they want to respect that these people have neighbors who live very close by, and they're trying to sleep. So the only reason we knew about it is because I woke up because I had to go to the bathroom and looked out the bathroom window and happened to see that there was a cop car there. And so then, of course, I opened the window to hear what was going on, and that's how I know they were drunk and fighting, and she like kicked the brother's car and caused damage or something. So he was talking with the police about that. But they pulled up quietly and to let the neighbors sleep. And then another time was they were just driving through. Like I've seen them drive through twice. No lights on or anything. They were just kind of driving. So maybe they were coming back from something. But again, no lights were spinning and no sirens were blaring. So it didn't seem. They go past all the time like the ambulances do. But police very, very rarely. There have been two big criminal activities happening here in Oix in, again, 16 and a half years. Two. The first one was very sad. An elderly gentleman had befriended two youths from another town, and he invited them over and or had invited them over previously to, hang out. I think he was feeling lonely. I think they might have tricked him, made him think that one of them was his long-lost grandson. I'm not sure. Anyway, then they came back to rob him in the night and got very angry. They were probably on drugs. Got very angry because he didn't have anything super valuable to steal. They beat him up so badly that he died in the hospital from his injuries. That was very, very sad. Very sad. And then the other one was somebody had, I know it was definitely over 100,000, but I don't think it was 200,000, maybe 150,000 francs, which francs to dollars are pretty much 1-to-1. It kind of goes up and down. There was a glorious, glorious summer when the Swiss franc was super strong compared to the American dollar, and it was 75 cents to the Swiss dollar. Or Swiss franc. We bought so much stuff that trip. But generally, it's 1-to-1. So yeah, like $150,000 from their safe in their house. Okay, so these are the kind of neighbors I have that they keep $150,000 cash as, like, I don't know, spending money in their safe in their house. And it got broken into and taken. But even there, again, the police, they never found out who did it. But I think it's because the parents ended up not pressing charges. Because even the police at the time in the report in the newspaper, there was a strong suspicion that it was an inside job, a family member who knew that they had taken that money out of the bank and put it in the safe, because the safe was not broken into. The people who took the money knew the combination. So, yeah. Really low crime, really, really low crime here in our little town. I can't remember the amount of times that I have come home late from like book club or going out to the movies or something and left the keys to our apartment in the door in the stairwell, like outside into the stairwell, and woke up the next morning. Where's the keys? Open up the door, there they are. The door was unlocked with the keys in it all night. Nothing happened. Yes, the downstairs door is sometimes locked, but often it is not. It's just stuff doesn't happen. 2 summers ago, my neighbors had some wine taken out of their basement storage area, but again, kind of weird. Like, there was all kinds of stuff they could have taken. It was a couple bottles of wine. So we think it was some teenagers who were desperate for some alcohol, which is again weird because the drinking age here is 16. So like they could have just bought some. I don't know. Anyway, so that's my life here. Now, if I lived in Zurich or in, Geneva, a big town, big city, that's a different story. But even then, it's pretty safe. I've been out on the streetcars and buses in Zurich at midnight by myself as a lady and felt no fear. I would have never done that in San Diego, ever. Just don't. There's just, yes, there's crime, but like, it's so rare. It's so rare. And yeah, I love it. I love that feeling of not being afraid. Feeling safe, feeling comfortable in my home. And yeah, that's a life in Switzerland. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. If you feel like you want to hang out with me again, please subscribe. And thank you so much. And I will see you again in 2 weeks. Bye.